Most people look at a pile of old supermarket paper bags and kitchen scraps and they just see trash. But I see dinner. In fact, I see 10 pounds of organic, chemical-free food for free. Today, I'm going to prove that you can turn actual household waste into a massive potato harvest without spending a single penny on expensive potting soil. Because here is the truth that garden centers don't want you to know. You don't need their fancy dirt. I learned this the hard way. 5 years ago, I tried growing potatoes in containers for the first time. I did exactly what the experts said. I went to the store, bought 10 bags of premium potting mix, fancy fertilizers, the works. I spent nearly $50 setting that up. 3 months later, I harvested maybe $5 worth of potatoes. My husband literally laughed and said, "Honey, we could have bought these at the market for the price of your coffee." He was right. It wasn't gardening. It was just an expensive hobby. That's why I developed the Lasagna Fill method. No digging, no heavy lifting, and absolutely zero cost for soil. And stick around because I'm also going to show you a simple cardboard shield trick that solves the biggest problem with paper bags: the heat that rots your potatoes before you can even eat them. If you want to cheat the system and grow free food, let's get into it.
Now, before we start filling these bags, we need to address the elephant in the room. I see this comment all the time. But Linda, aren't paper bags full of toxic glues and chemical inks? I don't want poison in my potatoes. I hear you. I'm paranoid about chemicals too. That's why we grow our own food, right? So here is my paranoid-proof protocol for selecting safe bags. Rule number 1, if it's shiny, say no. Glossy, white, or heavily colored bags often contain clays and chemical bleaches. We don't want that. You want plain, boring, brown craft paper. These standard supermarket bags are technically food contact safe. That means they are designed to carry your apples and bread without contaminating them. The ink is usually water-based, soy-based, or non-toxic. But what about the glue? This is where people get stuck. Yes, most modern glues are biodegradable synthetic adhesives. They are generally considered safe for composting. However, if you want to be 100% sure, if you want zero risk, here is the trick. Just cut it off, or simply place a thick piece of plain cardboard at the bottom inside the bag. This acts as a barrier. Your potato roots will grow into the soil above, not into the glue below. By the time the bag starts to break down, the glue is diluted and gone. It's a simple step, but it gives you peace of mind. And frankly, it's still safer than some of those cheap black plastic pots that leach microplastics in the sun. Now that we know our container is safe, let's fill it up for free. First step, double bagging. 1 bag is weak, 2 bags are structural engineering. Nest them together, roll down the rim to create a sturdy collar. Now it stands up like a real pot. Now, here is where most people lose money. They take a $10 bag of potting mix and dump it in here. Stop. We're going to use the Lasagna Fill method. It mimics how nature builds soil on the forest floor. Layer 1, the carbon base. Dry leaves, shredded cardboard, or even crumpled newspaper. Put about 3 inches at the bottom. This acts as drainage and slowly breaks down into carbon for the worms. Layer 2, the nitrogen charge. Your kitchen waste, potato peels, carrot tops, coffee grounds. This is the fuel. As it decomposes, it releases heat and nutrients right where the roots need them. Last season, I ran a side-by-side test. Bag A had expensive potting soil. Bag B had this trash lasagna. The result shocked me. Bag A, the soil bag, became heavy, compacted, and hard as a rock after a month. The plants struggled to breathe. But bag B, it was teeming with life. Earthworms actually migrated up into the bag to eat the scraps. The soil stayed fluffy and airy because the organic matter was constantly breaking down. It was lighter to lift, and the potatoes were almost 20% larger. So, on top of your scraps, add just 2 inches of old garden soil or compost.
You don't need to buy new stuff, just use dirt from an old pot. Place your seed potatoes, I'm using Pontiacs because they love containers, and cover them with another 2 inches of soil. That's it. You have just built a high-performance grow bag for literally $0.
You've set it up perfectly. It costs you nothing, but there is one invisible killer that can ruin everything in the final weeks. Heat. In that other video I watched, the gardener lost his entire crop of White Star potatoes to rot. Why? Because paper is thin. When the sun hits this bag directly, the soil temperature spikes. It basically boils your potatoes in their own skins. Plus, the heat makes the paper brittle and it falls apart too soon. So, here is the heat shield protocol. It's stupidly simple. Just lean a piece of cardboard or an old plank of wood in front of the bags. Look at this geometry. The leaves, the solar panels, are getting 100% of the sun. They need that energy to make the tubers. But the root zone, the bag itself, is in the shade. This simple shield drops the soil temperature by 10 to 15 degrees. It keeps the moisture in, prevents the paper from disintegrating too fast, and most importantly, no rotten potatoes. As for watering, I place my bags on these old cafeteria trays I found at a thrift store. I fill the tray with water, and the paper bag sucks it up like a sponge, wicking moisture right to the roots. Consistent moisture plus cool roots equals massive potatoes. It's been 90 days. The plants have died back. The bags look, well, terrible. They are falling apart. But that is actually good news. It means I don't have to dump them. I can just peel them. Look at that. No wrestling with plastic pots. Just rip and reveal. Let's check the varieties. First up, the Sabagos. Okay, decent size, clean skin, not a single rotten one. The soil is dark and crumbly. Remember, this was just kitchen scraps 3 months ago. Next, the red Pontiacs. I had high hopes for these. Whoa, look at the size of those. They absolutely loved this environment. This is definitely the winner for bag growing. And finally, the White Stars. This is the variety that rotted for the other guy. Did our heat shield save them? 1, 2, 3. Solid, firm, no rot. That piece of cardboard saved this crop. By keeping the soil temperature down, we avoided the fermentation that killed the other harvest. Let's get these washed and see exactly how much free food we just made. So here is the final verdict. The red Pontiacs are the undisputed kings of the paper bag method. They seem to handle the confined space better and produced the biggest tubers. Total haul? Just over 10 pounds. Is that enough to feed a village? No. But remember, my input cost was 0. I turned trash into 10 pounds of food. The return on investment is technically infinite. But wait, we aren't done. What about the mess? Normally, plastic pots clutter up your shed. But these? I just throw them right here. I just dump the paper and soil onto a garden bed or under a fruit tree. This paper is already half digested by the soil microbes. It's soft, it's safe because we checked the glue, remember? And worms love it. I cover it with a little mulch, and in 2 weeks, it'll be gone. It feeds my soil one last time. No washing pots, no storage, no waste. It is the perfect full circle system. So here is my challenge to you. The next time you come home with these paper bags, don't throw them in the recycling bin. Save them. Save your kitchen scraps. Save your leaves. And turn that trash into this. You don't need a farm. You don't need a strong back. And you definitely don't need $50 worth of potting soil. You just need to be a little bit smarter than the system.
If you want to see me try this lasagna method with tomatoes next, let me know in the comments. And if this video saved you money today, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and happy harvesting.